A very good morning, children. How are you all? So, till now we have finished 3 units, and now we are going to enter into the next unit. And the unit which we are going to see is biodiversity and its conservation. So, we will talk about the title later. Okay, we'll discuss about the name of the unit later. So, before that, we will go to a brief introduction of the lesson. Okay, there is this child whose name is Rani. Okay, she goes to a school. Okay, she's a school student. She's a student, and they have a prayer, especially on Friday. They pray about the nature. They pray for the welfare of the nature. So after the prayer, they went to the notice board. They all went to the notice board, and on the notice board, they saw something unusual. They saw something unusual. So it was written, endangered vultures seen in the Adilabad district. There was a paper cutting. There was a paper cutting where it was written, endangered vultures seen in Adilabad district. On the 5th June 2013, in the Muraliguda forest in Bejur Mandal, Adilabad district, they have seen a vulture. A vulture appeared suddenly. 3 decades back, that is around 30 years back, vultures appeared to be in a very large number. So whenever there is a dead body of an animal or anything, or a human beings, okay, vultures used to come in a huge number. But now this vulture, which is also called as Zebus indicus, is in a state of extinction. So now they have kept this name word vulture in the extinct list. Now coming to the word, what is extinct? What is extinct? So the animals which disappeared from the face of earth. These animals used to live at a particular time, but now you don't see them anymore. Those kind of animals are usually called as animals which are extinct, right? For example, if you take the dinosaurs, they used to live on the earth. They used to live some millions of years ago, but now they no more exist. They don't exist on the earth. We don't see them anymore. That's why those animals which lived on the earth, but now we don't see them, which are completely extinct, which disappeared from the face of earth, are usually called as the extinct animals. In the same way, this vulture was also kept in the list of the extinct animals. So this is the statement. This is a paper cutting which they have seen in the notice board. Okay, and one more thing here is, and they have seen the other paper cutting also. It says the government has declared the blue jay or the Indian roller, okay, which is also called as Coracias bengalensis, which is a scientific name of that particular bird, is now endangered, right? It is in the list of the endangered. So here you have to understand the word which is endangered. The animal endangered, the word says that the meaning of this word is, it is in the list of the animals which are going to exist in the future. That means very less number of these animals are left, and within no time, all the animals which are left, when they die, there will be no more animals will be seen of that particular species. So, for example, if you take some X animal, only 10 animals are left. Only 10 animals are left. So, after 1 or 2 years, all the 10 animals will die. So, before that 10 years, before that, now we say that it is in the endangered list. So now this is endangered. There is a fear of extinction. All these animals are going to extinct within no time. Those animals are basically called as endangered animals. Now the animals which are now disappeared from the face of earth, now they no more exist on the earth. The last species of that animal also died. Then the animal will be called as the extinct animal. Okay, so that is how we can differentiate between the extinct animals and the endangered animals. Now coming to the blue jay or the Indian roller bird, so which is also called as the Coraceus bengalensis, right? It is a scientific name of that particular bird. So now this is in the endangered list. This is in the endangered list. So this bird was frequently seen here and there, but now it is in the extinct list. So very few number of birds are present there. So all this happened because of the indiscriminate use of the pesticides, insecticides, okay, and food was not available to them, and there is a temperature increase, okay, and because of all these, the number of these birds, which were very good in number at one time, now they started decreasing, and now very limited number of birds are present. So now it's a time for the government to save the bird. They have to save the bird so that it will be saved, and they will reproduce, and they give birth to the young ones, and their population will increase, and it will not become extinct. That's why this bird is now made as our state bird. The government has announced that the blue jay or the Indian roller, which is called as Palapitta, it is our state bird. So they declared it as our state bird. So what we can do is we can conserve the wild animals. We can conserve the animals which are going to extinct. We can conserve the animals which are nearing extinction, which are endangered. So here conservation in the sense protection, giving a proper protection to the animals. So if you are well versed with the national and international laws of conservation of nature, then it will be very easy for us to conserve these animals. Now you cannot see several animals getting extinct in front of our eyes. So just assume that all the animals which are living in our surroundings suddenly disappear. See, we have a special bond with those animals. All the dogs in the roads, all the cats here and there, the butterflies, the dragonflies and whatnot, the monkeys. So each and every animal, they are in our surroundings, and just assume that they all become extinct. They all disappear one day. Okay, so now if we know the laws of the nature, if we know the international and the national laws, and also we can conserve the nature. Now the basic thing is that we should know how to protect our nature, and to protect the nature you should know each and every animal's habitat, how they live, where they live. Okay, so what kind of habitat they have. So you have to conserve that habitat. You have to conserve that habitat. In one place, in a place only, what happened, there was a bird which is completely extinct, and everybody thought that it was almost extinct. They also kept the bird in the list of the extinct animals. And one day there was a huge tree, and the people were trying to remove that tree, and suddenly they saw a nest of a bird, and there were the birds which they thought they were extinct. Within no time they informed the government regarding this, and they put a complete fence over that, and now that was a protected area now. So they want to conserve that animal, they want to protect that animal, so they did not disturb that habitat. They cancelled all the laws of removing that particular tree from there, and now the birds number increased, and now this bird is no more extinct. So we should know how to protect their habitats, we should know how to protect their places where they live. Okay, now there are so many ways we try to destroy their environment. There are several ways by which we try to destroy the environment of or habitat of the animals and birds which are living in our surroundings. The best example what you can take is the deforestation. In the deforestation, what you do is, deforestation, what we unconsciously do is, when we deforest, right, when we cut down the forest, we are destroying the shelter of several birds and animals, isn't it? So many nests are being destroyed, so many shelters, burrows and furrows of several animals are being destroyed. So we completely cut down the forest area, and we are converting the lands into agricultural lands or residential areas. So where all these animals will go? So because of this, several animals are becoming endangered, because now you can see a lot of monkeys coming into the residential areas, right, into the villages. Why? Because when you cut down the forest, their shelter is destroyed, the trees where they live, the food which they get are being completely destroyed. So they are coming into the residential areas for the food and water. Now this is only because of the human selfishness, isn't it? So that's only because of the human selfishness, which for his selfishness he has deforested the lands, and that is how these animals are coming into our surroundings, into our residential areas. We can see leopards coming into the cities, isn't it? We can see that the bears coming into the cities. Why? We are destroying their residential area, so they are coming into our residential areas. So that is how our selfishness has destroyed their shelter and food and whatnot. Okay, so not only that, and the second thing is, there are some organizations, there are some institutes which are really helping us to conserve the nature. For example, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Zoological Society, which is in London, is preparing and updating the list of the endangered species. Institute which is in London, which is the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Zoological Society, which is in London, is preparing a list of the endangered animals. That means the animals which are nearing extinction, which are coming near to the extinction. So they are preparing a list. Okay, so now this is all we have read in the newspaper cuttings and all. Now this Rani and also her friends, right, they saw this paper cuttings, and Rani went to home. So her grandfather was sitting there, and then he asked, okay, what did you do in the school? They said that, and Rani said that they had some Biodiversity 2012 meeting, which is going to be in Hyderabad, and she also talked about the blue jay and the vulture, which were there on the paper cuttings. So she also said that these birds are very much near extinction. If a proper care is not taken, they will become extinct one day. And her mother immediately, she also talked about these sparrows. She said that there were so many sparrows around. Whenever they used to put the rice or some other cereals outside, they used to dry them. These sparrows used to come and eat them. And also in all the farmlands and all, they used to eat the grains, right, which fall on the ground. So that is how they used to see so many sparrows here and there, and even in the houses, even in the villages, in the cities. But now their number is totally decreased. Hardly you can see the sparrows. In the same way, she also talked about the crow, myna, koel, isn't it? So we used to hear the sounds of these birds, but now hardly we can hear the sounds of these birds. Hardly very often we see some crows. And what about the mynas? What about the koels? Now we no more see them. So hardly we can see them, and they will. If you go to a zoological park or somewhere, you can find these kind of birds. So the birds which used to be in our houses, the birds which used to sit on the trees in our houses, now they are limited to the zoological parks, okay, bird sanctuaries, right? So that is what is told by her mother. And grandfather, he also told that, see, we have he said that they had a great banyan tree which was very, very huge, and it was a shelter for so many birds, so many animals, and a variety of birds and animals used to come and sit on that branches and the tree. But somehow the tree has to be removed. So they protested. They all opposed the idea of removing the banyan tree from that place. There are so many problems, like road extensions, okay, residential areas, building the houses, isn't it? So because for that reason they remove the trees, the very, very huge trees, isn't it? So you can see when it is road widening, the trees which are on the either side of the roads will be removed without any kind of mercy. You can see the JCB is pulling them out of their roots. They will uproot them. This is all happening. Okay, this is all happening, and the same thing is told by the grandfather. He said that the banyan tree was it was a shelter for so many variety of birds and animals and all. They used to take shelter under them. We used to enjoy that, but somehow it has been removed from there. He also told that the tribal people used to come to these cities very often, and they used to get the honey. But now they occasionally come there. Hardly they come with the honey things, honey and all the other things which they find in the forest. Now already we have discussed how the monkeys and the tigers and the leopards, how they are coming into the residential areas. Okay, so some, just assume 30 to 40 years back, the whole cities or villages, we saw a variety of birds like cranes, parrots, sparrows and whatnot. They are frequently seen. We used to have a nice goa tree in our house, and when we used to see some 20 to 30 parrots sitting on the tree whenever it's a season for the fruits. So we used to enjoy them, we used to see them and we used to enjoy, but now hardly we see parrots. If I have to talk about a parrot to my child, I have to show it in the internet. Okay, this is how parrot looks like. This is how parrot looks like. So nursery people, they only see that P for parrot in the textbook. They can't see it outside. Several birds are becoming extinct. Several birds are nearing extinction. Okay, so just assume you go to your garden and you go to public garden or some other rose garden, or you want to see several number of different types of flowers and all. But when you go there, you only see one kind of flower. How you feel? Do you feel so happy that you saw one flower? No. Whereas a wide range of flowers, right? Isn't it? So you want to see different colors of roses or different colors of the other flowers and all. You want to see them, but unfortunately, you saw only one flower. So you feel really very bad regarding that, isn't it? So now, what is our duty? Our duty is to protect the nature. And now, what is biodiversity? Bio in the sense life, diversity in the sense variety. Variety of animals, variety of plants, variety of insects, variety of animals, variety of fishes, isn't it? So many things are around us and including us, and it's all together we call it as the biodiversity. Variety in the life, variety of living organisms on the earth. So now most of them are nearing extinction. Most of them are becoming endangered. So it's our duty to conserve the biodiversity. That is how the name of the lesson is biodiversity and its conservation. So that is how we come to the end of the session for today, and tomorrow we'll see much more of this topic. So until then, see you all. Take care. Have a great day.